Well, last night I signed legislation to reopen our government and pay America's bills. Because Democrats and responsible Republicans came together, the first government shutdown in 17 years is now over. The first default in more than 200 years will not happen. And now that the government is reopened and this threat to our economy is removed, all of us need to stop focusing on the lobbyists and the bloggers and the talking heads on radio and the professional activists who profit from conflict and focus on what the majority of Americans sent us here to do. And we hear all the time about how government is the problem. Well, it turns out we rely on it in a whole lot of ways. Not only does it keep us strong through our military and our law enforcement, it plays a vital role in caring for our seniors and our veterans, educating our kids, making sure our workers are trained for the jobs that are being created, arming our businesses with the best science and technology so they can compete with companies from other countries. It plays a key role in keeping our food and our toys and our workplaces safe. It helps folks rebuild after a storm. It conserves our natural resources. It finances startups. It helps to sell our products overseas. It provides security to our diplomats abroad. So let's work together to make government work better, instead of treating it like an enemy or purposely making it work worse. You don't like a particular policy or a particular president? Then argue for your position. Go out there and win an election.
And you know, there are a lot of wealthy, successful Americans who agree with me because they want to give something back. They know they didn't. Look, if you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. There are a whole bunch of hard-working people out there. If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help. There was a great teacher somewhere in your life. Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we have that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, that you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. The internet didn't get invented on its own. Government research created the internet, so then all the companies could make money off the internet. The point is that when we succeed because of our individual initiative, but also because we do things together.
Impecable discurso, ¿no? Me imagino que la mayoría de ustedes lo comparte. Vean lo que hizo la Fox.
Let's see how propaganda works. And as you watch this, understand the most important part of this is that Fox does this on purpose, because if they cover an issue for long enough and keep repeating it over and over again, it forces the other channels to go, well, I guess, you know, everybody's talking about it. I guess it's a big scandal. And then next thing you know, CNN covers it. Next thing you know, everybody's covering it. Next thing you know, the local news is covering it. This is exactly how Fox News works as a propaganda outlet rather than a news outlet. Watch them pound it here.
Small business owners, guess what? The president has a new message for you.
If you got a business, that you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
Huh?
Ooh, you didn't build that? Who built that? Who built that business? Who worked? Who invested? Who took risk?
If you built a small business and made it a big success, you didn't build that.
I think it's disturbing.
It's petty. It's mean. It's ignorant. It's so demeaning.
It was almost an insult. It was an insult.
Just an insult.
Does President Obama want a do-over?
Successful people shouldn't give themselves all of the credit.
Thank a bureaucrat. President Obama not exactly making friends with business.
Well, I think we're starting to find out the real Obama.
That's a near-socialist approach to economics.
In a lot of trouble for calling him a socialist. His policies are socialist, and we don't need to have him literally spit in our face and tell us what we're doing is not worthy.
Doesn't it change the whole definition of the American dream to a certain extent?
Those comments go against the very essence of the American success story, the American dream.
¿Qué decir de periodistas así? ¿Alcanza con llamarlos mentirosos? Que agreden la inteligencia elemental de la gente, que están al servicio de intereses absolutamente inconfesables. ¿Qué se puede decir de estos?
¿Cómo nos imaginan que los van a editar y nos los van a mostrar?
Pero, ¿cómo se puede ser tan sinvergüenza de alguna manera? Perdónenme el término poco elegante, si se quiere, pero dan ganas de decir lo que ustedes deben estar pensando, por lo menos muchos de ustedes en sus casas, ¿no?
Es gracioso.
Son increíbles. Mirá lo que había dicho Obama.
Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we had that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
Entonces, vienen semanas de campaña de Fox, acompañado inmediatamente por las otras cadenas, porque ellos van fijando de alguna manera la agenda, hasta llegar, después de lo que hemos visto, que en realidad dijo Obama, a esto que van a ver, que también es increíble.
People who've worked hard, started a business, and created jobs can't believe what President Obama is saying about them.
If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
What an insult.
I am outraged.
I can't believe he just said that.
I can't believe the President of the United States could say that I have not made this.
The government had practically nothing to do with it. If anything, government gets in our way.
We've worked for everything we've gotten.
We risk everything every day.
Came from my own personal savings.
I've invested 5 years.
20 years.
Of my life into my business.
And Mr. President, I don't think you understand that.
But the President of the United States would be that unsupportive.
Now we really know how he feels about small business.
The backbone of America.
We're here to help improve this economy.
The American dream is being lost.
You didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
To rebuild the American dream, we need a president who believes in the American dream.